Are we all seeing this right now? Are we all seeing this right now? Obsessed. In all fairness, I wasn't 100% sure how this was going to go. So I went ahead and did one eye to kind of trial and error it just a smidge. So initially what I did was like do my brows with just a little bit of the Got To Be that I used to just like kind of paste them up. And then I went through with lash primer. I just kind of lightened them up a smidge. So I'll show you how I did that over here. Okay, so after that dries a bit, I went in, I'm just using like an old matte lip in a red color because I feel like it will dry down better. It did dry down better. Like I tried to use, what did I use at first? Oh, like this powder puff from NYX. It just wasn't pigmented enough and it was almost like pinkish undertone. So I'm just going in with like this old matte liquid lip and just grazing over where I've already put the lash primer. So I did a couple layers of that matte lippy just to kind of build up the color. And now I'm gonna go in with, don't judge this palette, she's well loved. Anyways, going in with this color right here, tapping off the excess and just gonna start dusting over this a little bit just to smooth out the color. So fun. Not this look making me want to dye my eyebrows red. Okay, using that same matte lip, and I just put it all on my palette here. I love this thing. It was like $4 on Amazon, and I swear I use it for everything. So I'm gonna load up that matte lippy onto my brush and just start to create a line. Does anybody else start to sweat a little bit when they have to try to match one liner up to the other side? I like start perspirating. But let's see what we can do here. I do it in little baby strokes because I just feel like that makes it 10 times easier to not only keep the line clean, but to gauge really where I'm putting it. I can breathe a little bit. And then just to kind of set that line and make sure that the color is even, I dipped my brush back into some of that red shadow from my James Charles palette, and I'm just lightly patting it into the line that we created with the matte liquid lip. Next, I'm going to move on to lashes. I'm going to go ahead and coat my natural lashes again with the lash primer just to give them a lighter base to put that red tone onto. This is where things start to begin to feel a little bit like an art project gone wrong. This was my first attempt. Let's all have a chuckle. So rest in peace, lash. I'm sorry for what I did to you. A little bit of that liquid lip, and I just put it right on the lash palette here. And then I took my brush here. Now, be using things that you're not going to be sad if they're stained, because they are going to get very stained. So I don't think this brush is ever going back to normal again. I did, which actually worked well. I got that coat on, and then I took some of the lash primer. Instead of caking the lash in it, I just put some on my palette and then mixed it, and I'll show you what I did. I'm making a mess over here. I feel like a mad scientist. There, some of the primer, the lash primer, and the matte liquid lip. Got it loaded on my brush, and then continued to just work it in. It's gonna take a little bit of patience, and you're gonna have to be okay with getting a little messy, but well worth it. I ended up having to do about 3 or 4 layers of this over the lash to get it to be really colored. And what I would do to set each layer is take some of that red eyeshadow and just go back in, making sure to get the underside. And I will peel this off and get the other side of it as well. Okay, so we have coated the lash really, really well. A couple layers, let it dry. And I've got my glue on there now that is tacky and ready to go. And we're just gonna pop it on. I also dusted some eyeshadow and matte lip onto my natural lashes that we had primed previously. Next, I'm going to coat my bottom lashes in the lash primer. I'm going to go back through with the spoolie, load it up with some more of that liquid lip, and just dust it onto my lower lashes here. And then I'm going to take my liner brush, dip it back into the matte liquid lip, and just create a little bit of depth right around my eye. I'm going to go in with this Maybelline Super Stay. I don't know, I bought it today. And I'm just going to edge out my lip. I don't even know, it's a crayon. I don't know if it's meant for your lips or not, but we're doing it. This is like the prettiest color. And then I'm going to go in with the same matte lip that I used. And just kind of fill it in. I always feel like I get it on my teeth. Okay, here is the finished look. I am living for it. If you see me with matching lips, eyebrows, and eyelashes from now on, no, you didn't. Mind your business. If this look doesn't scream Baddietine, I don't know what will.